Good morning and welcome to February with Enfys Tarot. Today is Monday, February 3rd. So we're going to be doing Earth Magic Monday today. We did not do Earth Magic last week. We were working with the Aquarian Tarot deck. And I think it's a good day to start getting back into our Earth Magic readings. With this new month, this month reminds me of love, probably because of Valentine's Day. But it also reminds me of love because it is a time for connection. It's past the holiday season. It's past the celebration of New Year. We're still deep in the heart of winter, and it's time for deep connection. It's a great time for our psyche, for our spiritual being to connect with the quiet earth. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be connecting with Earth and finding out what we need to know going into this month and how we can best stay connected, stay grounded, receiving source energy and producing it as well. So, all right. And my shuffling today is going to be a little bit wonky because I cut myself last night cooking, and it's just in the wrong spot. So I've been shuffling for a while. Let's find out what's going on. Unfoldment, lotus flower. Is anyone else feeling that today? That feeling of unfoldment? Sort of like a slow stretch, you know, like just stretching out, you know, really getting our roots down into the earth and absorbing all of that beautiful earth energy. Iceberg, submerged. Yeah, we are still submerged. We are still connected in this winter energy. Sanctuary. I mean, that's kind of like the feeling that I've been describing is sanctuary. Sanctuary is that safety, that restful, peaceful, connected safety. Movement, river. How best can we move during this time? I can tell you that I've been doing some 15-minute yoga practice every morning for the past couple of weeks. It's very slow. It's very grounded. It just sort of wakes my body up, and I've incorporated meditation into that. So at the end of the yoga practice, there are a few minutes of real quiet connection, and I feel the energy coming in. What kind of movement can you be doing right now? And then here, love. That's the first time I've ever pulled this card from this deck. Compassion and love. That really is what this month is about. It's really about connecting and feeling that love. We find it easier when spring starts to come. We go outside and we feel invigorated and rejuvenated, and we get those butterflies in our stomach and we get excited because there's new life everywhere. What will that be like if we're starting now to experience the love of the earth, to experience love of our higher selves, our connection? How great will that feeling be in just a month and a half when we start to see everything waking back up again along with us? It's going to be an incredibly profound experience, more profound than you may have experienced in the past, if you can get that loving appreciation and connection right now in the depths of winter, right? So let's see what the Rider-Waite-Smith deck has to say about this reading today. All of these cards, the unfoldment, submerged, sanctuary, movement, and compassion, really do feel like a big warm hug, you know, and I feel like that is the kind of energy that we want to be carrying with us today and offering to everyone we come in contact with. It doesn't have to be a physical hug, right? We don't want to go assaulting people with hugs, but it would be nice if we could make people feel that warmth and compassion when they're in our presence. And that is what I mean by a nice warm hug. So what does that look like? What can we do? What are our action items to make that something that we actually manifest? How can we do that? Let's find out what we need to know for the week using this Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Queen of Wands in reverse. Wow, Then the Six of Cups upright. I like where this is heading. The Hierophant in reverse, Death in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, and then the Seven in reverse, Seven of Swords. Can you guys see all these cards here? You know, given the context of this conversation, it really is about pivoting inward and being able to harness connection to ourselves and others, looking outward and letting go of the ego. When the Queen of Wands or the King of Wands come in reverse, it's a reminder to let go of our ego. If you need more elaboration about what ego really means, I encourage you to go and do some light reading on the subject. It'll make sense. It'll make a lot of sense when you can detach from the ego and become connected with Source and your community. That's the foundation of compassion, right? When you can really connect with those around you and be as concerned for their well-being as you are for your own. That's really important. Then you've got this Six of Cups. Find joy, find the playfulness. Do you see what this child is offering? The other child is a cup full of flowers. Look inward, remove the ego, and offer your cup full of love. Offer your bouquet. Offer your compassion to others. There's compassion in this card. You've got the Hierophant in reverse. Consider the areas of your life that you've been kind of stuck on, some of the patterns that you have relied on for self-preservation, and see if any of those are not conforming to the concept of compassion. There are a lot of things that we pick up along the way that cause us to disconnect and detach from others, to treat others as others. And it's always because it's always rooted in self-preservation, okay? And we pick up on those habits over life and we think that that's what we're supposed to do. It's like, I protect my boundaries by not caring about that guy who just cut me off. I'm going to be angry and I'm going to allow myself to be angry because it protects me. It justifies me in that moment. That's an ego justification. That's not self-preservation. So look at the areas of your life where you have formed patterns that really do not coincide or cooperate with your core values that are really, we all have core values rooted in compassion. That's what makes us human. So take a look at some of those things and hold a mirror up and find out what you can sort of reassess, re-engage with. See if there's some tweaking that can be done. And allow the transformation. It's going to be kind of tricky. That's why Death is in reverse here. There's going to be resistance. Anytime our ego is threatened, because our ego likes to be rooted in self-preservation, our ego is rooted in making sure we're content and comfortable and protected and really important, right? Anytime our ego is threatened in any way, it's going to resist. So consider that as you're moving forward. Is it really you and your core self resisting the transformation? Or is it your ego resisting the transformation because it doesn't trust that you know what you're doing, right? You know, you got to kind of figure that out. And Page of Cups coming here in reverse is sometimes it can be a little bit scary to receive new information. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to trust our true instincts. Sometimes it can be hard to know that compassion is the answer because we think that someone's getting away with something. We think somebody is betraying us or taking advantage of us. We think we have to preserve ourselves and protect ourselves. And all of these things really get in the way of connecting with others and connecting with Source because they are disconnection. It is a wall that we put up. It is a way to disconnect because we learn that the easiest way to protect ourselves is to remove ourselves from whatever the perceived threat is. So once we've removed these things, Can we allow ourselves to see things more clearly and come from a place of love and curiosity and compassion rather than the protection of self and protection of ego, right? That's the question. It's going to be really tricky to juggle this. It might get a little bit messy, all right? It doesn't mean that we have to give up or that we have to do this all perfectly the first time. It means we need to plant the seed now. It means we need to practice this. We need to think about what we're doing. We don't want to react. This Queen of Wands in reverse tends to be very reactionary. She's not pivoting in a way that makes sense and is proactive. It's very reactionary energy. We're not trying to react here. We're not trying to overcompensate here. We're trying to walk gracefully to a closer connection, right? That's what we're trying to do. And it will result in the Three of Swords in reverse. It will be a release of unnecessary pain, a release of the burdens that we've been carrying. It will engage our heart and our connection with others and be fulfilling. This process here of trying to protect our ego all the time is more harmful than we recognize because we've been doing it little by little over time. And now we're being asked to do something new little by little over time so that we don't feel like we're ripping ourselves apart necessarily. We're just inching toward greater connection. And that's what I would encourage everyone, including myself, to start practicing now in February. Why else would we be celebrating love in February if it wasn't for a reason? Why is it February that we do this? Maybe because it's a little bit tougher. Maybe because we're inside, we're not getting together with people, we're kind of holed up in our little safe space, and it's easy to be disconnected, and it's easy to forget how beautiful the earth is, even when it's the dead of winter and everything is quiet and cold and sleeping. You know, it's easy to disconnect during this time. It's a little bit trickier to really get our roots in the frozen ground, right? When it's in the winter, but we can do it. It's not impossible. All it really takes is for us to consider the possibility. And is there one more card for the road? Wow, this is going to be a chain to break. The Devil coming in here is all about attachment. We've got to break free from these attachments. What a powerful card. Is there anything else? I mean, this is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I think we're really ending it here on the Devil card coming in because that's such a profound statement. But if you want a little bit of extra reinforcement, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse really does remind us that this is all about weeding the garden. It's about letting go of those things that aren't working. It's about tending to the things that we want to work better. You know, feeding whichever wolf you feed is the wolf that will survive. It's a little bit like that. So I hope you all enjoyed that today. I will be back tomorrow for True Intentions Tuesdays. And I really do feel a sense of love and compassion and connection toward all of you as well as myself. I'm happy to be here, and I hope that you are too. If you found this content of value, please consider subscribing. Please consider liking. I'm thinking about, before I let you go, I'm thinking about starting a new sort of series of shorts in the near future that I'll be talking about the ways in which manifestation tends to show up for me, what it looks like, and also stories, little anecdotes about how I've been able to connect with loved ones who have passed on, ancestors, spirit guides, how these things show up, because it happens a lot. And I think that one of the things lacking on social media and in conversation is the example of what it looks like when this all is happening. And it might be helpful to some of you to know, like, what does it really look like to manifest or to connect with source or to connect with past loved ones? What am I looking for when I'm trying to do this? How do I know it's working? So keep an eye out for that, and let me know if you enjoy that. I don't want to bore anyone with personal stories, so I'll keep them in the short section, and it's just going to require me working. I'm not a natural storyteller. If you haven't noticed already, I tend to, with the ADHD stuff, kind of throw in like all kinds of things, and a story drags out longer than it has to. I'm doing it right now. So I'm going to work on my storytelling ability and start putting out some stories, and let me know if you find them of interest and if you find them helpful. All right, February 3rd, 2025. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay connected and grounded, and I'll see you tomorrow.